Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Broku, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball video. And welcome back to another What If. What if Vegeta went Super Saiyan on Namek first instead of Goku? And this is part 2. And I'm going to give you guys a bit of a summary, but I also want to mention that as you're watching this video, I will be on a podcast that is being live streamed on the channel Back Pocket Game Reviews. I'm going to link that in the description, so if you do want to come check that out, watch me in a podcast, then feel free to come. Should be pretty interesting, but yeah, it'll be linked in the description, so come check it out. It'll be like an hour and a half podcast probably, somewhere around that range. Anyways guys, as always, let's shoot for 1,500 likes on this what if, as that is my goal for all of my what ifs, but it's been over a month since I did the first part of this, so I'm going to give you guys a summary of what happened in the first part. So Vegeta, through his pride and power alone, transforms into a Super Saiyan and ends up defeating Frieza and killing him. Over time, Vegeta continues to master his form while he waits for Goku to gain his own Super Saiyan form so that he can fight him in a fair rematch that will settle their first battle, which went inconclusive. Vegeta wins the rematch due to him being able to go into his ascended Super Saiyan form, and everyone thinks he's going to kill the defenseless Goku. But instead, Vegeta spares him, as the time spent on Earth, and more specifically, time with Bulma, has led him to become a good guy now. Over the years, Goku and Vegeta constantly would fight every few months, and one day, Goku was finally able to defeat Vegeta through the use of his perfected Super Saiyan form, as it outlasts Vegeta's ascended Super Saiyan form. Before Vegeta could master Super Saiyan for the next rematch, Goku would pass away due to the heart virus. Eventually the androids would arrive, but this Vegeta, strengthened through years of intense training and harsh battles with Goku, would prove more than enough to defeat all the androids. Dr. Gero, Android 19, 18, 17, and 16 all fall in battle to Vegeta. So this is essentially where we left off. The androids, while they did destroy a city and its many inhabitants, all the Z fighters survived, and the android's reign ended much earlier than it should have. But Vegeta is now essentially the main character of the story, and a good guy. This is where we'll be picking up and continuing the story. Now, with Goku having died from the heart virus, instead of actually dying from Cell, this begs the question of should he be able to get a body and come back for a day during the 25th World Tournament and participate. Now, I think both possibilities do have merit, but it would be much more interesting to have Goku return during the saga than have him not come. This still leaves plenty of time between the Buu saga and the Android saga though. Should still be around 7 years. Now Gohan would be a whole year younger because he didn't spend a year in the time chamber, but this Gohan is going to have a lot of similarities to my favorite Gohan, Future Gohan, except minus the scars and the missing arm. Gohan, he can go Super Saiyan, he's a lot more of a mature leader, and does focus on training. Although he is not the sole survivor and sole hope left on Earth like Future Gohan was, he sure acts like it. In this, Goten is never born, so Gohan takes a big brother role over the young Trunks, and this leads to Trunks being far stronger than both Goten and himself were during the actual Buu saga. And Vegeta is about the same strength as he was in the Buu saga, but doesn't have Super Saiyan 2. He does have Mastered Super Saiyan now though. And then Gohan as a Super Saiyan is stronger than Super Saiyan Gohan from the Buu saga, but weaker than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, somewhere in the middle. Eventually they'd all gather up and head for the tournament, and Goku would arrive eventually, and it was an amazing time for everybody to see Goku once again. Gohan was ready to show off his new strength to his father, and just get to interact with him once again. And Vegeta was ready to see his old friend and rival. And even though Vegeta was a tough guy, he did truly miss Goku. Well, hello there, old friend. It isn't the same without kicking your ass every once in a while. Vegeta, you sure haven't changed. Or have you? It's okay, Kakkarot. We will see what kind of training you have been doing up there. We will compare to the training that I've been doing down here. I'm looking forward to it. Although Gohan may be able to knock one of us off before fighting each other. Gohan will never be able to do that. This would be a very different Vegeta. Although he did really want to fight Goku, he didn't absolutely need to like Vegeta in the Buu saga did. The same Vegeta who let Buu be resurrected, who killed innocents, just because he needed to fight Goku. People do very different things for what they want, and for what they need. Supreme Kai and Capito do show up, and it all kind of goes the same. Eventually Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan must leave to take on Babidi's henchmen, and the orders change a bit. It goes Gohan, Vegeta, and then Goku. Gohan easily defeats Pui. Vegeta finds a way to defeat Yakon, and Goku, who is very strong through his training in the other world, is able to kill Dabura. With this going on, the three henchmen killed with little fight, enough energy is not resurrected for Buu. Babidi goes missing, and Supreme Kai and Kibito go off to hunt him throughout the galaxy. During this time, Goku has to go back to the other world, but because Gohan never loses to Buu, he never accidentally brings about Elder Kai, and he never gets his potential unlocked. Now, this leads into the potential hypothetical Battle of the God saga. But I want to do something different, something a little bit more interesting that doesn't follow the regular paths of my what-ifs, where my what-ifs always follow into the Dragon Ball Super timeline. Well, we're going to say now that Beerus never wakes up, or if he does, he kind of loses hope in the Super Saiyan God, or just lacks interest. So this means no Super that we know of, and Frieza is never revived because Champa doesn't destroy the Frieza ship like in the manga. No Universe 6 tournament. Without Goku, there's no Goku Black or Zamasu Downfall, and there's no Tournament of Power because Goku would never have suggested it, nor would he have been able to. Now we fast forward to the end of Z, and there's no Goku at the tournament, and there's no Oob because Buu was never resurrected. Heading into actual GT, we have no Goku, no Goten, no Fat Buu, or Oob. Gohan did meet Videl though at school, and did end up falling in love with her during the Buu saga, and they end up having a child named Pan. Through this time, Vegeta gets stronger and has attained the Super Saiyan 2 form, and with him finding it, so would Gohan and Trunks after training even further. At this point, Trunks is in his 20s, and Gohan is in his 30s. They have a great relationship where it is like a best friend / brother relationship, and now, how would this work? This would still lead to Emperor Pilaf and his minions climbing up to the lookout and eventually stealing the Black Star Dragon Balls to make their wish. But with no Goku being there, Pilaf actually makes the wish he wants. He wishes to be the ruler of the world. Now this wish could be taken in many different ways. Pilaf could just be literally named King of the World, but that wouldn't be interesting at all. Maybe Ultimate Shenron could have the knowledge that Pilaf couldn't technically be the ruler of Earth if he was just named the ruler. He would need to have the powers to be a ruler so that nobody could successfully rebel. This leads a two-pronged issue. Not only do some characters need to go around the galaxy to get to the Black Star Dragon Balls so that Earth isn't destroyed, but they need to deal with the seemingly invincible Pilaf who has the power to rule the world. Quickly they think of what to do. After Vegeta, Trunks, and Gohan team up and fail in their fight against Pilaf, they retreat and make the decision. Gohan and Vegeta will stay on Earth to protect it and protect its inhabitants, and fight Pilaf off and on, while Trunks, Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, and Roshi head off in a spaceship to gather the Dragon Balls. During this time, Pan would also sneak onto the spaceship with the Z Fighters to go find the Dragon Balls, and eventually they'd be successful in gathering all of them. They'd also run into a baby, just like in GT, but Trunks was strong enough at this point to hold that baby and would get back to Earth before it would be destroyed. But Vegeta, who had been fighting off and on for the many months, would still fail. So would Gohan. Despite the many Zenkais, they would never surpass Pilaf. Pilaf's power would be directly rooted into his wish. He was the ruler of Earth, so this meant he would always have the power to be the ruler on that planet. This is when they finally realized their plan. If they can get Pilaf off of the planet, then this should revert him to his normal powers, since he wouldn't be on Earth anymore. How would they get Pilaf off of Earth though? How could they possibly do this? Nobody knows instant transmission except for Goku, and he's dead. He can't intervene. This is when they get the idea to contact King Kai to learn of Yardrat and where it is. They then went on an expedition, and Gohan, Vegeta, and Trunks gained this technique and returned it to Earth to enact it. Vegeta uses instant transmission and grabs a hold of Pilaf and teleports to a different planet. Vegeta then puts his hand over the shriveled old Pilaf and finally eliminates him. Or so he thought. While being on a different planet did make him weak, he was still the ruler of Earth, and therefore he couldn't actually die. Vegeta then would put him in a prison cell, and Pilaf would spend the rest of his life tortured there in a cell. We leave off with Baby, landing on Earth, ready for revenge on the group of the Z-Fighters he ran into, and, ultimately, the Saiyans. So anyways guys, let me know what you think of this what if down below. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Also, don't forget the podcast. Since you're done watching now, just go to the link in the description, check it out. The podcast was probably maybe a half hour to an hour into its run, but then again, you can still watch it when it's done or rewind it and watch it continuously. But anyways, please do leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, follow me on Discord, and follow me on Twitter. And thanks to all my Patreon supporters, Zach Rotaku and Hodag Hunter. Those are my Super Saiyans. Thanks to my Super Saiyan 2s, Darius, Israel Flores, Dutch Gamer Monkey, Connor Trigg, Locke, Gerald Herbert, Anime Paradox, Griffin Jacob, and Mystic Ghoul. And thanks to my Super Saiyan 3s, Scotland Serenity, Daraj Payton, Sin Overlord 17, Badass Thug, and the really awesome dude that only supports Broku on Patreon. Thanks to my new Patreon supporter, Shook Red. Thank you guys so much for all the support on my Patreon. It really does mean a lot, and it really does help me out. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Peace out.